there's a question I have written here. All over America on the morning of 9/11 that foretold what would happen. There was a word that was read. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yes, I do. And I'm very blessed to start with this one because this was one that actually involved Morningside, involved you as it was revealed. Because when I wrote the Harbinger, I had no idea of it. And for those who don't know, the mystery begins, and everybody keep in mind what happened years ago. 9/11 is part of the mystery that's affecting us right now and really holds the key to what's happening now. And the key scripture was, for those who don't know, in the Harbinger is Isaiah 9:10, which is when the first attack or strike or warning comes on the land. There, God is warning them. He allows an enemy, actually they were terrorists, to make a strike to warn them, but he keeps it temporary. He contains it. So it's over, but it shakes them. It's a warning to hold back what is going to come if they don't turn back to God. It's a wake-up call. Well, that for us was 9/11. And the scripture is Isaiah 9:10, where the people said, well, the attack came, the bricks have fallen, but instead of coming back to God, we're going to come back stronger against God. They said the bricks are fallen, but we will rebuild with bigger stones. The sycamore tree has been struck down in that attack, but we're going to plant stronger trees, the cedar, in its place, or the arrows. So what they're saying is, we're going to defy you, God. We're not coming back. And this is going to lead them to judgment. So that's there in Isaiah. It's about the attack on the land. Well, we saw that with the Harbinger, that this scripture started manifesting right after 9/11. And everything in this scripture, the sycamore, the stone, the cedar or the Erez tree, everything happened. It was even recited, proclaimed to America from Capitol Hill by the Senate Majority Leader. So it's amazing. So we are in this is the beginning of all those things. But what I did not know when I wrote this, and we didn't know, and there was someone first wrote in to you, and then it opened up this whole mystery, is that on the morning of 9/11, before the attack happened, all over America, believers were opening up their Bible to Isaiah 9:10 that spoke of the attack and the first judgment strike of a nation that's under judgment. It was all there before the Pentagon knew, before the CIA knew, before the intelligence. Believers were opening up to Isaiah 9:10 that spoke of the attack, the first strike of judgment on the land that would happen through a terrorist attack. Happened. Why? Because it just turned out in the sovereignty of God that in this book called the One-Year Bible, which most people know about, if you go to that book, the One-Year Bible, and you open up to this Harbinger scripture about the attack on the land, the beginning of judgment, Isaiah 9:10, you look at the top of the page, you're going to see a date. And the date you're going to see is September 11th. It is there in the One-Year Bible. It actually puts together the September 11th marked as the date that the attack will come and that the judgment of a nation begins. And this was in the One-Year Bible years before 9/11. It was already ordained for 9/11. In fact, the One-Year Bible came out around 1985. It was there for 15 years or more. It was there identifying 9/11 as the day that the enemy will come, the strike will come, the terrorists will come, the sycamore will fall on that day. It was all there. And so every year on September 11th, before September 11th, the believers would open up their Bible to the scripture about the attack and the judgment every year. And so the morning of 9/11, they were opening it up before anybody knew. God knew. And it was all there. So they're reading about the sycamore falling, and the sycamore at ground zero was struck down after they read it. They're reading about all these things. So now the amazing thing, I mean, it's all gigantic. It's you talk about, we were warned. It was all there. It was there for millions of Americans to see in the One-Year Bible. It's still there to this day. How did that happen? Well, it's amazing because if you just take Genesis, and you put it on January 1st in the One-Year Bible, and you get to the end, Malachi of the Old Testament at the end of the year, it's going to put all these things are going to converge so that 9/11 is going to be the day of Isaiah 9:10, the day that speaks of the first of judgment of a nation. So it was all there before it happened. And when I wrote the Harbinger, I had no idea. So talk about the hand of God and talk about the confirmation. If you have any doubt that we are in this judgment template right now, just open up the 1 Year Bible to Isaiah 9:10, look at the top, and see what you find.